You're up.
Pretty sure everybody has like bank accounts. You guys where you keep like your money, finances, stuff like that. I've been doing research on this topic for about 2 weeks, and I also work at the bank, so I pretty know like all the security features inside of it. Most of you guys probably don't know, besides like the security cameras you guys see around. And I'm gonna be talking about dye packs. I don't know if you guys know what dye packs are. And I'll be talking about obviously the camera system that you guys see, and GPS trackers. This is a dye pack. They pretty much put it in a strap of $10 to $20 bills inside of it. And the FBI, according to the FBI, only like 75% of banks use dye packs around the US. And it's pretty much like a little square chip that they put in like the bills. They usually put on the inside. Every bank usually has one or two. I know we got one in ours, but we hardly use it because nobody robs it. And pretty much has a little radio receiver. It's like it has a little magnetic strip, so when it's like this, when it's removed, the magnetic strips comes out. So and it's set on a timer, usually between 20 to 45 seconds, so it lets the robber go out, and it explodes. It has like a little red mist. It explodes. It's supposed to get off, like it's supposed to stay in the money, so the money can't be used again, and then the bank can retrieve it. Also, it burns at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so usually it's supposed to burn the thief, so he can drop the bag and like let the money like pretty much run away. I got a video clip of a thief, pretty much kind of graphic a little bit, but
A hostage drama unfolded today in the suburbs of Washington. A would-be robber with a gun emerged from a bank in Tacoma Park, Maryland. He was using the woman as a shield from police who had taken up positions in the parking lot. As the officers held their fire, a dye pack exploded in a bag holding the gunman's loot, releasing a cloud of red smoke. Then, trying to back away from the police, he slipped and fell, losing his hold of the hostage as she ran away. As he pursued her, the police opened fire. The gunman escaped and later died.
Alright, next, security cameras. These are, everybody's seen this, but usually it's only pointing at one point of view, and it's mostly on the teller. Usually have them on the teller, like 4 of them, 5 of them. Just, like check the transaction, what's going on. So not only for the thieves, but just in case like a teller tries to steal money from them, like their own bank. And they usually have them at the front of the entrance too. And also, what people don't know, they put them at ATMs. So they usually clean out the ATMs like once in a while, like every week. And there's some disgusting stuff you guys don't even see at ATM. People picking their nose while they're depositing money. It's disgusting. Most people don't know that. I'll put that in there. Also, the next thing is a GPS tracker. These ones are pretty expensive, so not too many banks have them. In 2008, GPS trackers, according to the FBI, they helped recover $3.1 million back. These devices, like, they go off like cell phone towers, so they're off cell phone towers. It's like pretty much they go off the chip is like when it's activated, it goes by the cell phone tower, and it's usually activated right away, and then it sends alerts to the cops right away by SMS, like text message or emails. And in conclusion, today I talked about like the security feature of what a bank and the difficult techniques that a bank uses. I showed you that the feature, how it works. These issues obviously like they don't go away, but soon it will by the device of the things. Thanks.
Who do we give that responsibility to? Oh, okay. Tell us what you thought. There we go.
It was really good. By the end, you were looking down a lot at your cards, but when you started out, you were just looking up to see what you talked about, and that was pretty good. I think you probably need like a little bit more information on like, the actual dye packs and everything, you have personal experience that you've seen where things happen. But other than that, I thought it was good.
All right. Let me point out something that's real obvious. You have a 4-minute speech, so you got a lot of time. It's clear that you could develop this a lot more, and there are things that I think you could have put into the presentation that would make it a lot more whole. It feels like a sketch of a speech. It feels like the kind of the first run through. Here's what I think I'm going to talk about. I'm going to put together a couple of ideas here, and now I'm going to go, and it needs to be filled in a little bit. So you've got a good skeleton here. You need to put some meat on it. It needs to have some muscle and develop a bit more. I think you want to start with a context. Why is it that we need these security measures? Why is it that banks especially worry about this? Give us some background context. How many bank robberies occur every year? How much money gets lost? What do the nature of the robberies consist of? Is it usually people working alone or in gangs, or is it like some movie, where people are sneaking under the bank and drilling holes and all that kind of stuff? I think you're talking about security tools that are going to use against basically, what do they call them? The takeover kinds of robberies, or the stick-up artists, that kind of thing. It's not going to work in other contexts. And so that's what you want to set up as the context for your speech. I didn't really hear the purpose statement. I know you've got one, but I didn't really hear it in the presentation, and that's problematic. Your preview is very basic. It's not drawing in the audience. It's just, and there are these 3 things I'm going to talk about, X, Y, and Z. Now let's talk about X. And it sounds so mechanical, and it needs some personality to it. The subject is really interesting. I think this is something that people would be drawn to, especially a couple of the technological things that you're talking about. Most people probably heard of die packs. You've got some information about it. You've got a visual for us to see. The video clip, I couldn't really see anything that was happening on the video clip except the guy running away and then falling down and getting shot at. So I couldn't see any red smoke coming up. I didn't see that it startled him. I'm sure it was there. I'm not saying it wasn't, but it was a little bit hard to visualize that. And I think you need a little bit more research on this to develop it, but you've got a good idea there. The second point on the security camera, you basically have, there are security cameras. They're to watch the bad guys and even the employees, because sometimes they steal. And it's really disgusting to see what people do in front of the ATM. Especially when you're thinking about, I'm punching in my numbers on the same pad that guy just used. But has there been information gotten from security cameras that have led to arrests? Have we been able to prevent crimes? Has there been some kind of surveillance that's been done as a result of these security cameras? Have they learned other techniques? Have they been effective at preventing things, or at least capturing people? We don't get any information on that, and that seems like that's the kind of stuff that would fit there really well. On the GPS thing, I don't know about how old your information is. You say that not many banks have it primarily because it's expensive, and I'm thinking, really? Because I think everybody in here is probably being tracked by GPS right now. If you've got a cell phone in your pocket, they've got all that kind of stuff. So maybe it was once a problem, and it's now more ubiquitous. I don't know. I don't get any source citations on this information, and that's one of the things that I know that you know about it to some degree because it's related to your job, but you should be doing some additional research on this. So you've got a good topic. It's pretty well organized. You've got a natural division here. That part's good. And you've got some credibility on it. That part's good. But it needs to be filled in, and it needs to have a lot more detail to it. And you need to make it, more of a speech. There's stories and anecdotes, and here's something that is really useful to know about this particular subject, as opposed to, I'm just going to give you the Wikipedia version of this subject. And that's, I felt a little bit like that's what we were getting there. All right, thank you very much. We are finished for the day. Don't